Hello, sweet people. Welcome back to Aging Happily with Hilda. Trusting you all are doing amazing as always. I just wish to appreciate you all for taking this moment, this time to come and watch this video so you can grab those tips, the ideas to be able to add a value to someone out there. Yes, and what are we going to be talking about today? Caregiving, siblings and caregiving. Nowadays, it is quite challenging and very difficult bringing together, coordinating siblings to look after their aging parents. Why is this happening? It could be from maybe their past conflict, unequal contribution when it comes to caregiving, differences in personalities, tough decisions. It is always a lot to deal with. And that's why I'm here today. I just wish to share some ideas on how a sibling can successfully and happily look after their aging parent without making each other go crazy. And if this is your first time to this channel, I want you to please like, share, subscribe, hit that notification button so you get notified each time a video is up. And don't forget to share your own tips or your own ideas, your thoughts about the video, aging parents and siblings in the comment section below. I really love reading those comments. They inspire me a lot and other viewers. So don't forget to do that. And for those who don't know me, I am Hilda, a nurse by profession, and helping people to age happily is just where my passion lies. That being said, let's get into it, people. How can you successfully help your aging parents without making your siblings or the other family caregivers go crazy? I really want you to stick around to this video to the end because when you get to reflect these points, it's actually going to help you to go through this process with ease and happily actually. So first thing you want to think about, I want us to talk about is falling prey to the misconception that I shouldn't have asked. This is always from those family caregivers who does most of the caregiving. They are always at the forefront. And what their thoughts are is usually that if the other sibling considered that the parents were important, or if they could volunteer to help, it would have been nice. They forget to know that they can actually ask for that help. The thing you want to remember here is not all the siblings think the same like you when it comes to caregiving to your parents. And while growing, they must have had different relationships, different roles they play in their lives as they were growing up. And now they didn't just feel that way. They didn't just feel like doing what they used to do. So keep that in mind. How you feel about your parent is not the same as the other sibling. That will be a way for you to go about whatever you are doing for your aging parents without thinking of the other siblings. Another thing is assuming that our siblings are the same people as they were young or when they were kids. It doesn't happen that way. It is really suggested or advised to approach any family caregiver or siblings as adults. It will actually surprise you the behavior of some people when you approach them. So before you assume or take any decision, make sure you give a family caregiver or that sibling that opportunity for them to show you their adult personality before you know how to approach them for any caregiving activity, for any caregiving ideas. Also, automatically reverting to childhood rules. Here's why growing up, you might have had that older sibling who did everything when it comes to care, was doing everything for your parents. And now it is very easy for you to fall back to that pattern that if this person was able to do this thing back in the days, he or she should be able to do that now. It doesn't work that way, guys. It doesn't. You want to sit behind. Take a step behind and imagine if you were the one in that situation. If you had been doing that all along, and now, as the parents are getting older, the other siblings are still expecting you to do the same thing, to carry on most of the responsibility. Do you think that is fair? It's not. So it's the same thing. If you don't want that to happen to you, think of it that way. You don't want to do it to the other sibling. That way, when you are helping your aging loved one, you are not thinking so much about the other people or the other family members or siblings. Another thing is that we don't realize that our parents can actually cause confusion among siblings. They do. And it's not because they really want to cause that confusion or they do intentionally, but it happens in so many ways. And most often is the one that is coming maybe from far to visit is suffering most because the tendency is the sibling that is close by is visiting all the time. You that is flying from out of the country, out of the town, whatever you hear, the only thing that you hear from your mom or dad when you visit is about that sibling who live close by, or that sibling who calls 5 times a day just to check on how he or she is doing. And what are your feelings then? How are you going to feel when you don't call that often to check on your mom or dad? You are probably going to grind your teeth in frustration. Another way that your parents can cause confusion is about telling about the health or their health to different siblings in different ways, not telling the truth to all the siblings. And you then get to understand or to discover that until when your siblings try to touch base or discuss. Quite often, that sibling who is close by, who is at the forefront doing maybe the daily activities, knows more or better how mom is declining than you that is out of town or out of the country. And the probability is each time mom or dad is talking to you, it is always like they keep that smiling face, so you think everything's okay, which is not. And until when you start to talk with the other sibling that is close by, you come to realize that something is not going right. And you both start thinking that you are crazy, or the other one, this sibling is thinking the other one is crazy, same as the other sibling. You want to remember, be kind to yourself, know that your parents as well could cause that confusion. Another thing that I always like to mention and emphasize on is not planning for tough realities ahead. There is this thing we call end of life. Most people don't like to talk about. And the consequences can be very, very difficult, can be very, very tough. It is actually advised that if you have the opportunity as siblings, get in touch, have a meeting, have a family meeting with your mom or dad as they are very healthy. That way they are going to tell you their wishes, you are getting it from their mouth. And when that uncertainty arrives, when that time comes, you are not going to fight among yourselves, trying to figure out what mom's wishes were and stuff like that. You knew that well ahead of time when mom or dad was healthy, they were able to tell you those things and you got it from their mouth. So it's not going to cause any confusion. So that's another way to actually go about to look after your parents without thinking the other siblings that can cause any confusion down the way. These are all the tips I got to share today, guys. I trust you all got something, got enough from it, and please share, and don't forget to share your own thoughts in the comment section. I am happy and thankful, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Thank you.